Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we arrived in Da Nang, central Vietnam and took a day trip to Bana Hills. In this video, we went south to the ancient town of Hoi An and visited the Mission Sanctuary. Would you like to come along? Hoi An is a UNESCO heritage site located only about 30 kilometers southeast of Da Nang. We took a taxi, arrived at noon, and went immediately for a local delicacy, Cao Lao. This is yet another noodle dish, but the rice noodles used in it are soaked in lye water, giving them a different texture and color that's unique and unusual, and served with pork and greens. Just like our first experience with Mi Hoang in Da Nang, we enjoyed this too and realized we knew very little about Vietnamese food. We then walked around Hoi An Old Town, which is beautiful. From the 15th to 20th century, Hoi An was a trading port, so you could see the unique architectural and cultural fusion that has been very well preserved. Every street corner and building here is photogenic. It was a very hot day though, so pretty soon we needed to rest and cool down. Luckily, we found a great, albeit slightly hidden cafe, Fin Coffee, which not only provided much needed shade, but also amazing specialty coffee. We loved it so much we bought their coffee beans to brew back in Singapore. In the late afternoon, when the heat was more forgiving, we continued exploring the old town. This was the perfect time to enjoy the town. The light was diffuse and pretty for photo and video taking. The town was also coming alive, with a lot of tourists and street vendors preparing for the night market and activities. Also saw the iconic Japanese bridge, built by Japanese merchants in the 16th century, made of vermilion wood and looking ancient with many meticulous details. The old town is dotted with shops selling various souvenirs and interesting knickknacks. If you're looking for unique items to bring home to remind you of the trip, you'll be spoiled for choice. As dusk fell, the town, particularly around the riverbank, became a glowing fairyland, with lights and colorful lanterns everywhere, exuding a peaceful, romantic vibe. What's a night market without food? There's plenty of street food to try here too. could take a boat ride along the Hoi River and release candlelit paper flowers. We admired the view from the riverbank and stopped for dinner at one of the food stalls on the riverside. Next morning, we woke up for Banh Mi. We decided to try two highly rated places, Banh Mi Queen, recommended by our local host, and Banh Mi Phuong, made famous because Anthony Bourdain raved about it. We personally prefer Banh Mi Queen, and we think those with a more Asian taste would agree. Although Banh Mi Phuong is the more crowded of the two, and they serve pretty good banh mi too. In the afternoon, we went on the Mison Sanctuary Sunset Tour, booked through our local host. We were picked up at our hotel and traveled for 45 kilometers to the site. The Mison Sanctuary is a cluster of abandoned and partially ruined Hindu temples in a valley surrounded by mountains, constructed between the 4th and 14th century by the Cham people. The complex is said to be their religious and cultural center. The majority of the architecture was destroyed in the Vietnam War, unfortunately, and although some work to restore it has started, it hasn't progressed much. If you have been to the Hindu temples of Prambanan in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, you may find this site a bit underwhelming. But come anyway to appreciate the unique history of this place. There's a small theater in the complex where tourists can enjoy a traditional Cham dance and music performance. Traveled back to Hoi An halfway by car and then a cruise along the Thu Bon River. This was a short, relaxing cruise on a small wooden boat, and we were given banh mi as a snack, which was our third banh mi for the day. Ha! Our cruise took us straight back to Hoi An, but I read that in some other tour packages, they'd bring you to see rural lives along the river, how the local fishermen work their nets up close, and some even take you to the famous coconut village. So depending on your interest, you may want to give those a go. For us, this was a nice way to spend our last evening in Hoi An, as we returned to Da Nang the next day. To end our short trip, here are a few more notable food places we found in Da Nang. Bep Hen for amazing homemade Vietnamese food. This small restaurant is wonderfully decorated with old furniture and items to honor the old days of Vietnam, the time when Vietnam was poor but beautifully its own. It was the food that really impressed us though. Every dish we ordered was flavorful and delicious. Tried Bun Chaka Hon for their highly rated fish noodles, although I found it a bit too fishy for my taste. For something sweet, we loved the coconut and avocado ice cream. And of course, we had more Vietnamese coffee while we could. And with that that, friends, our short trip to central Vietnam came to an end. If you have more time to spare, you should look into visiting Hue, the old imperial city and seat of the Nguyen dynasty in the 19th century. It's only a couple hours away from Da Nang. As always, we hope you enjoyed the video. Do like, comment, and subscribe for more. Until next time!